So today, right now I'm going to be starting on a dress. Last year I tried to post a video of this technique, but something had happened with the second part of the clip, so I'm just going to redo the whole thing. I didn't post it, but it's a multi-panel mermaid prom dress skirt, and it's going to be white. We're going to be using spandex fabric. I got this fabric from Joann's. Now, the only thing that I dislike about the fabric from Joann's is the really nice fabric that's kind of stable and doesn't overstretch is very sheer, see-through for the most part. But this one is thicker, so you cannot see through it, but it just stretches too much one way. So sometimes it gets a little funky when hemming and all that other stuff. But it's okay. I just learned to work in the opposite direction. So it stretches a lot one way and it stretches regular the other way. So keep that in mind when working with this fabric. So I'm going to be using horsehair for the bottom. Hopefully this is enough. I have ordered more horsehair. It has not gotten here yet. And this is what I'm going to use for the top of the dress. I'm going to do a little overlay into the bottom of the dress so it's not just cut off. This dress is also not going to have a split. So at least I don't think I want a split on it. I've been changing my mind so much with filming these videos. So this is the stretch sequin lace fabric that we're going to be using. We're only going to be using some of this, so we might have enough for a whole nother dress, which would be bomb.com. Yeah, so hopefully the lighting is pretty good in here. I should have brought my my lights here. I'm at my boyfriend's house, so the lighting isn't the best. So next time I come, I'm gonna bring my lights, but hopefully this lighting is good enough for you to see. We'll check it out. Yeah, so let's get started. Also, if you guys are interested, I have been thinking about making some prom dress patterns that you guys can purchase. I'll purchase the muslin, and it'll be pre-cut out for a size medium, so you can add your width or subtract from whatever the pattern is. Let me know if you guys are interested in purchasing patterns. This would definitely be one of them, the multi-panel, which would be a big help because I'm going to keep one myself because I always do this by hand over and over each time, but it's definitely easier to just lay something out and have it the same or make the adjustments based off something. So yeah, let me know if you guys are interested in the comment box below. Okay, so I'm a visual learner, so this might help you in the long run. So normally, like right here, this is me. I named the whole, what I want my dress to be named. So it's gonna be, I don't know if you guys can see, regular neckline, sleeves. The sleeves are gonna have the sequin lace. The sleeves all the way down. Boom, boom. All of this sequin lace. So what happens is we want to cut out the top as if it's a regular top, but you see here we have some designs coming down what will be the skirt, and that's going to be the sequin lace so that we can have it overlay the skirt so that it just doesn't look like it just got cut off. So then all the designs, they come up here, here. Depending on the design as well, we may have to overlay a few pieces over this part since it is a mesh fabric. And okay, so this one is going to be our basic mermaid skirt because I don't have a split here, even though I think I really want the split. So even if I do, what happens is this. We get some seams that look like that, meet out the knee. The split, I usually do the split on the left side. That's where our split will be. This, that's our opening. Some legs in here. Yeah, so I like the split. Boom, we're having a split, period. Okay. Also, if we want the collar, we can add a collar later. Most people don't really want the collar. Or they like a small collar. We don't need the collar if you ask me. Okay, boom. So let's focus on just the skirt first. Okay? So we'll take it over here. Let's say our mannequin has the waist 26, hips is 40. That's all we really need. We need also length, waist to knee, length, knee to floor. And the reason we do this with the length from the waist to the knee, that's our waist from here to here. So we know we got our regular skirt pattern here and where we want the flare to start happening. That's how we have the knee to the floor is the flare. Okay, so that's our measurements for that. The knee to the floor, I have it on the last design. Oh, here we go. Waist to knee 25 and 24. So 25 and 24. Okay, so those are the measurements that we need. The mannequin is 5'6", which is 5'2" with heels. Okay, so we can leave it like that. We can, personally, I like to add a few inches on. Doesn't hurt to cut it off later if somebody buys the dress. So I like to add another 4 inches so that we have some, what do you call it? Some flare for visual purposes. So let's add 6 to make it even 30. 30 inches. And we're going to be using horsehair too. So yeah. Okay, boom. So those are our measurements. 40, 25, 24, and 30. Okay. So now, generally, mermaid skirt is a regular skirt, hips, knee. Generally, that's a regular skirt, waist, hips, knee, with a flare here, right? Probably gonna need more than one page to explain this. But what happens to the multi-panel skirt is we're gonna be cutting, I like to do the 3 panels, but people can do as many as they want. Boom. So this is where our seam is gonna go. And boom. So most of the times what I do is I take some fabric that I don't need. I cut the measurements out like this, and then I cut this, and then I use it as my pattern. Also, so let's name this 1, 2, 3. That's panel 1, panel 2, and panel 3. So for panel 1, it's going to be shaped like this. I should probably move it over here. So let's start here. It comes out to the hip. This also comes out as if it's a hip. And then it comes into here. Here. And then we want for each panel to make this skirt as full as possible with as much fullness and ruffles as possible. We want triangles at the bottom of everything that has a seam. So this is panel 1. We want this to be cut out with a triangle at the bottom. So panel 1 and 3 are the same. Panel 1 and 3. They're just mirror imaged. So you see 1 and you flip it to the other side is 3. So this is 1 and 3. Okay? 1 and 3. So now panel 2 is going to be shaped like this. Got the middle. It's like a miniature skirt. Here. I have them. And then our regular triangle. Boom. So this. Now what has to also happen is this has to be equal to this because they get sewn together. And this happens, so there'll be, so panel 1, 1, 2, 3. There's gonna be 2 pieces, 2 pieces. So it's 2 pieces of everything, or you could cut 4 pieces out of this one. 2 pieces, 2 pieces. Lord, can I spell? Boom. So that's what the mermaid, blah, 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 blah. That's what the mermaid skirt consists of, the multi-panel mermaid skirt. So you guys can see that a little bit up close. Okay, so if you decide that you do want to purchase the pattern package, it will be some muslin pre-cut for you with, these are my average measurements that I use, especially with working with spandex fabric. So this is for spandex fabric, okay, or these specific measurements. Okay, so that's what you would be getting. Also, so this does not have a train per se. It forms its own train on its own. If you've seen the mauve dress that I posted on my Instagram, I'll try to put a clip of it in this video. But if you've seen that, I use this to make that dress. Okay, so again, this is our dress that we're about to make. So let's see if we can get started doing that. I don't have any extra fabric here, so I'm gonna have to freehand this part here. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so I've laid the fabric out, which is terrible because this fabric collects all kind of dirt. So I really hope it doesn't get dirty. And if it does, I'll have to send it to the dry cleaners. But I laid the fabric out. So we want the length from here to here to be our waist plus so the waist was 25 and the length from the knee to the floor was 30. Over here, if you guys can see. So here to here is 25 and here to here is 30. Now, it does say 30 because that's the minimum we want. But if it's longer, I'm also okay with it being longer, to be honest. So, but the minimum we need it to be from here to here is 30 plus 25, which is 55. So let's measure it and see what we got. So we need this to be 55. Okay, so it's definitely 55. Perfect. So it's actually 62 and a half. So we got 62 and a half. Also, I did fail to mention that this is a 5-yard length of fabric. So what I'm going to do is, what also helps, if you're going to use the whole 5 yards, you could take the 5 yards and divide it by 6. You have 6 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. 2 pieces for the first panel, 2 pieces for the second panel, 2 pieces for the third panel. So you have 6 panels in total. If you want it to be as full as possible, you're going to use the whole 5 yards. You can divide 5 yards into 6 parts. And that's how wide the bases will be for the triangles. That's not how wide the top is going to be. So if we want to do that, we have... So the 5 yards, if you have 5 yards, 1 yard is 36 inches. So we got 36 times 5, 0, 3, 15, 180 inches. Let me make sure. 5 times 6 is 30. Put the 3, 15, 16, 17, 18. Perfect. So we got 180 inches, right? and we have 6 pieces. So we want to divide the 180 by 6. So it's equal to 30. So that means the base of all of our pieces are going to be 30. So from here to here is 30. From here to here is 30. Okay, boom. If you don't want it as flared out or you don't have as much fabric, you can use less. Personally, I don't think you should use anything less than 20 inches for the base here. Okay, boom. So let's go ahead and go back and measure out our 30. So to avoid me having to cut 6 individual pieces out, I'm gonna fold panel 1 and panel 3 in half. So I'm gonna fold this over 30. So we're gonna measure out 30, and I'm going to put a pin as soon as I find my pins. Let me go find. Okay, I'm back with the pins. So what I was trying to say was, we're gonna measure this out to 30. So this is gonna be panel 1. So we're measuring this out to 30. So this is 30. I'm gonna stick a pin here as a marker. I'm gonna come down here and do the same thing. And I don't think this is even, just I can tell by the curve here, but I'm still gonna go ahead and put 30. Okay, now we're gonna fold this thing in half so we can cut 2 out at one time. So we're gonna fold it to the pins. Let's slide it back this way. So you can see it's kind of uneven on this side, so that's fine. We want the side that's the most straight and even to be our bottom. Once I cut it this time, the rest of it should be even at that point. So we're going to use this part as our bottom. I'm a slight perfectionist, don't mind me. Oh shit. Whew, it's hot. Okay, so yeah, you can see it's uneven at one side. That's perfectly fine. We're gonna use this side over here to be our bottom and cut up. So we need from this point right here to the knee. So that's 25. So let's find our 25 marks. So under here, this is where it is, the rain. Okay, so from here to here, 25. That's 25. And from here to here is 25. Marker. Boom. So that's our 25. Everything else is the tail. Okay, so now we're going to come back here. Personally, I like the knee part to come to the middle and shoot out. So around our knee is the measurement. I took it earlier. 27 inches all the way around the knee. So in half, let's say 13 inches, right? You could take away some inches because it stretches. 13 inches And take the 13 inches and divide it by 3 because we have 3 panels. So 13 divided by 3, 4 and some change. So now we'll take 4. That's just me because it stretches, doesn't matter to me. So we want to find the midpoint from edge to edge. Okay, so from here to here, it's supposed to be 30, but because I told you the middle wasn't even, our midpoint between 28 is 14, is 28 and a half, so 14 and a quarter. So this is the middle. So from the middle, we want 4. So we're going to be 2 on each side, 2 inches and 2 inches. And if you want, you can add a little single allowance here. So, this is where it's going to be. Here and here. Okay, so that's our knee part. Now, for the waist, we have 26 inches, so that's 13 as well. So it's going to be the same, which is usually how it goes. The waist and the around the knee is usually around the same measurements. So we got here, this, we got to find the middle. This is our middle. And we want so this is our waist for panel 1. This is around the knee for panel 1. And we need our scissors now. Okay, so we also need from waist to hips, the length is 11 inches. So our hip starts out at 11 inches. Hit it here. Yeah. So our hip will happen somewhere around here. And these measurements again are based on my mannequin. So when you start cutting out, we have this is where it starts. Now we want to curve out some. Curve back in to the knee. Okay, so that's our knee. And our hip should here. So you can smooth all of this out. So we're going to do the same thing again, following the same pattern. So it starts right here. As you can see, the grain is a little lower underneath. The fabric is just a funny fabric this way. Okay, boom. You could also divide the hip by 32. The hip is 40. Divided by 3, 1, 3, 13. Just about 13. Yeah. 13 divided by 3. Okay, boom. Okay, so now we're gonna take this and we're gonna shoot straight out to our ends, just like that. So if it helps you, you can align this part, our base over here, to the end of this. And there is a pin down here, so I want to remove it because it might be in my way. And so we align this part to this part, and now we want to cut. Okay, this is stripes. Sometimes I still use these to make some godets, depending on how full I really want it. If I want to be extra dramatic, I'll add a godet in there. And a godet is just like a triangle piece that adds some more fullness. Make sure I got all of the pins out of here, because that's how I end up throwing away most of my pins. So we'll do the same thing to this side. And of course, again, if you buy the pattern, or if you're interested in buying a multi-panel mermaid skirt pattern, it'll come pre-cut like this already. So you can adjust your own to your own measurements of your client or yourself or whatever. So now I'm going to cut this. You also need to get rid of this pin because it will get in the way. Okay. All the way to the 30 width. Extra, same thing, you can use it as the godet. Now this is our first panel, which is equal to the same as our third. So we could take it and flip it the opposite way and do it again. Cut the same thing out again. Now you could cut this out. I think I'm gonna leave that so when I sew my horsehair on, we got a little bit of extra space. All right, so let me take the pins out of this. And again, we're gonna do, I can use this or we can do the same exact thing again for the third panel, since they're equal. So let's fold that up and start on the second one. I want to flip this around and do it from the even side. Boom. So same thing again. We're gonna mark our 30 points. After we mark our 30 points, we're gonna cut it out just like as a smaller skirt, a skinnier one. So the camera had cut off, but we didn't get far, so don't be afraid. Okay, so what I did was I finished folding everything out and I marked everything. You can't really see the pins, just a little bit, the little red dots. So I marked the waist up here, the hips, and then the knees, and then we're going to shoot out the same way we did with panel number 1. This is panel number 2. It's folded over, so there's going to be two pieces of this. And then after this, we're going to go and we're going to fold this back half of fabric over, and it's going to be equal to 30. And we'll take panel 1 and just lay it over the top and trace it out, cut it. Then we'll have 4 pieces, 2 pieces of panel 1, 2 pieces of panel 3, 4 pieces of the same thing, and 2 pieces of panel 2 here. All right. So I'm about to cut everything out, so you can watch me cut everything out, and then I'm not gonna cut panel 3 and 4 out since it's the same exact thing as panel 1. So yeah.